Welcome back. We're looking at cues across Asia, which are actually once again very, very supportive because most of the markets have chosen to go on the green side. Gains are between 0.5% to almost 1% on some of them. Let's pull up the implied open because that was the issue yesterday. We started with such a flourish, but then pretty much ended with a whimper. Again, today the implied open is saying we'll start 100 points higher. The critical question is, can the Nifty finally punch above that congestion zone, the top side of the range, which is around 25,200. Well, we'll find out soon enough, but we also have to look at a lot of the interesting stocks that are in focus today. And our team is standing by with the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch. Guys, morning to all of you. Let me start first with Ekta. Ekta, good morning. What's the news on Sun Pharma?
Well, yes, interesting news on Sun Pharma because they have a European biotech company that they've partnered with for an investigational therapy with regards to, skin cancers as well as non-cancerous skin tumors. And the therapy is called Nidlegy. Now, basically, the partnership is for Europe, New Zealand and Australia. Now, what has taken place is that Philogen has voluntarily withdrawn its marketing authorization application for this particular drug from the European Medicines Agency. Now, this particular MAA or authorization application was submitted in June 2024. The withdrawal, according to the company, is due to delays in availability of chemistry, manufacturing and controls and requirement of additional clinical data, and it could not be completed within EMA's review time frame, which is the European Medicine Agency's review time frame. Philogen, however, intends to resubmit the data on an updated application. So as of now, this is a little bit of a setback for Sun Pharma, considering that they had partnered with this particular company for this particular drug for Europe, New Zealand and Australia.
Okay, all right, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. Well, I'm looking at Hindalco as a mild positive that's come overnight because they've gone ahead and they have, announced an acquisition. So they'll be acquiring Aluchem company, which is in fact a company that is in the United States that's primarily into specialty alumina and alumina products. They've hinted about this in the past that they want to get into specialty alumina as well. And this appears like a step in the right direction, directionally positive. They say that the move is strategic in nature and it's primarily to expand the company's downstream portfolio. So perfectly in line with what they have stated. How do the valuations stack up? Well, the total capacity is around 60,000 tons per annum. The revenue that they did last year was close to around $66 million. And the EV they're paying is around $120 million. So they've done this acquisition at an EV upon sales of close to around 2 times. And back of an envelope calculation suggests that on an EV upon EBITDA, it's done at around 8 times, assuming that they do roughly around 20% of margins out there. So going with green on Hindalco because this is directionally positive for the company. But let's go back to Vinny. She's here to tell us about some stocks that she's tracking, which are in the news. Vinny.
Hi, good morning, Nigel. So starting with Timex India, now the promoter group Timex Group Luxury Watches BV is selling around 15% stake in the company over the next 2 days, 25th and 26th is what we're watching out for. And obviously the floor price for the issue is at 175 rupees. Now, if you see yesterday's closing price, that is at a discount of the floor price is at a discount of 35% to yesterday's closing price. And because of this, we could see some bit of a red coming in for the stock today. PTC Industries, the company's arm, has signed an MOU with Saffron Aircraft Engines, and this MOU is for manufacturing components and materials for military aircraft engines. So an important update coming in here, and PTC Industries green is what we could see. Bajel projects one more important order win actually coming in for the company. Just a few days back, there was that order they got of around 400 crores in that range. Now, this is a 100 to 200 crore EPC order. This is for substations in India. So that is why Bajel projects, again, we could see some bit of a green here. And lastly, RITES also an order win coming in here for 29 crores approximately from the Gujarat Urban Development Company. And this could also see green here.
Okay, all right, Vinny, thanks very much for that. So keep an eye out on those stocks as we open up for trade. Well, let's talk about commodities. Manisha is here, and I think she's got oil on her mind once again for obvious reasons. Staying around 68, well behaved. Manisha, morning.
Morning, Prashant. Thank you for that. Well, yes, after those very, very sharp losses that we've seen in the overnight markets, Asia seems to be trading positive right now. So we are holding around $68 a barrel. Remember, overnight we've seen 5% of a decline in crude oil prices. And for this week, we are down by 11%. Well, investors are weighing on the durability of the Iran-Israel ceasefire And the other thing is about the reports that suggest that the U.S. strikes on 3 Iran nuclear sites have only delayed nuclear program by a few months. So those developments perhaps would continue to move crude prices either ways. Apart from that, the decline in the U.S. crude inventories for a 4th straight week also seems to be supporting markets. The expected decline was 1 million barrels. You've seen 4.5 million barrels of a decline. So that seems to be supportive. What's capping gains, though, of course, is whatever ceasefire that we are looking at, and IEA maintaining that they have 1.2 billion barrels of an emergency reserve, if need be, can be deployed into the market. So that would continue to cap gains here. But for this week, we are headed for a very, very sharp decline.
Okay, dramatic week for oil markets for sure. Manisha, thank you so much for the latest. Let's quickly recap our list of top stocks to watch. The ones that have positive news flow are Hindalco, PTC Industries, Bajel Projects, RITES, Asian Paints, IOC and BPCL. Stocks with negative news flow would be Sun Pharma, Timex Group India and ONGC. We'll take a quick break, come back on the other side, and we'll have Devin Choksi of DR Choksi FinServ joining in for some fundamental ideas.